Are you ready for 8 insanely cheap transatlantic repositioning deals? We use transatlantic cruises quite a bit this past year. We've done 2. Before we jump into the amazing deals, we want to share with you some of our top tips to make sure that you get the most out of your transatlantic repositioning cruises. And then we're going to dive into 8 amazing deals for couples. And we've got even some surprise deals for those of you who travel solo. My name is Mark,
And I'm Monica.
and we're traveling the world full time. We've been doing this for about 2 years.
I think in March it'll be 2 years.
One of the ways that we get around the world, which is with these repositioning cruises. There truly are deals that you can sail for under $100 per day. And that includes everything that you see there on the screen, from transportation, food, lodging, entertainment, tips, taxes. It's one amazing way to get around the world. Ships will change their locations so they can serve different parts of the world on a seasonal basis. A lot of cruise ships in the spring, they'll head from the Caribbean to Europe. And in the fall or winter, they'll head back from Europe to the Caribbean or somewhere on the East Coast. Typically, these are going to be twice a year. One of the best things about this are the deals. If you can go ahead and jump onto one of these repositioning cruises, you're going to be pretty shocked by how inexpensive and the incredible value you can have taking a cruise this way.
Really, the key with a repositioning cruise is if you have the time, it's a great way to get to Europe or to get back to the US.
So let me give you some tips to make sure you get the most out of your booking. Number one is book early. Many times we'll wait and think if I book last minute, there'll be a great deal. Sometimes there are, and we have done other videos on this, and we'll put some links in the description below. The problem with that is many times there are no last minute deals. The best cabins are taken. The best prices are long gone. 12 months in advance is great, but certainly somewhere in that 6 to 12 months is what you're going to want to do.
When you book early, you get the best choice of everything. And if the price goes down before your final payment, you can always usually get them to match it or get your travel agent to match it.
Number two, be flexible with dates. The reason I say this is because I think you want to cruise on the ship you want to be on, the cruise line. They're only going to be one sailing on a transatlantic on that ship. It's not like when they sail in the Caribbean, where they may be doing the Southern Caribbean 10 times during the season. You kind of got one shot at it. The good news is there are dozens of ships that are crossing. April or May is when most of it happens. The weather tends to be pretty good at that point, and that's going to get you typically from the East Coast. We've taken these out of New York and Florida, and there are other places you can go out of as well. I've seen some out of New Orleans and other places. The fall crossing is going to be coming back from Europe, and we've gone to the East Coast, like New York, New Jersey, as well as Florida, and that's going to be September, October. In fact, this year we sailed the same ship both ways. We went out on the Odyssey of the Seas on Royal Caribbean in the spring, and we came back in the fall on the very same ship, which was a lot of fun because a lot of the same crew was there. So that was a good time. Number three, look for hidden gems. A lot of times you may hit some ports that you typically don't get to on a Caribbean sailing or a classic European sailing. Sometimes you can get to places like Madeira, the Canary Islands,
Bermuda.
Bermuda. You get to some more unique places. Take advantage of that. You're not going to have a lot of stops on a transatlantic, but you might actually have some really cool stops.
Another tip is to take advantage of the cruise line's loyalty programs. Everybody's got a loyalty program, and the more that you cruise with them, the more points you earn, the more perks you get. So it's a great way to get discounts on a lot of the onboard stuff. We'll always throw deals at you by email up until you're sailing, basically.
I would always encourage this if I can get an incredible deal and it's on Holland America, where I don't really have much status, but the deal is amazing. I love the ship. Ultimately, it comes down to I want the ship, the itinerary, and the deal. If you can line up your loyalty program with your transatlantic, that's the way to do it. That's when you're going to knock it out of the park, which brings me to combining deals. You can actually layer deal upon deal. We've done a video on this. We'll post that one down below. The cruise line might be running some promotions. You might be part of a loyalty program. They may give you onboard credit if you book on board. So let's say you're on that transatlantic ship, because they're going to give you additional specials that you're not going to get once you're off of the ship. And fourth, go through a cruise only travel agency. After you book on board, have them transfer that booking to your cruise only travel agent, because our cruise only travel agent, and we'll be happy to share the details with you below if you leave it in the comments, she gives additional onboard credit and sometimes even a further discount. You can layer these on top of each other to get the very best deal.
So another thing that a lot of the cruise lines offer are upgrade auction. As you get closer to your sailing, you'll be able to bid for upgrades, an upgraded cabin. It's a lot of fun, and sometimes you get lucky and you get your upgrade.
When you book the initial booking, let's say you book a balcony cabin and you had your eye on that suite,
Mhm.
notate the price. Just take a note somewhere because you're going to forget what it's sold for and you get caught up in the bidding frenzy. My advice is typically don't bid more than 50% of what that additional price was because you want to feel like you got a deal. Otherwise, you should have booked the suite to begin with. So no more than 50%. And don't be afraid to go much lower than that because you never know. You might get lucky. Next thing is weather and cabin selection. This is the book early type of thing. Typically, when you're doing transatlantic, if you can get a portside cabin heading east to Europe, that might be the better side to be on if you're dealing with an ocean view or balcony cabin. If you're an inside cabin, hey, it doesn't matter what side that you're on. If you're heading west, we say starboard might be better just because of the sun angles overall. Is it a big deal? No. We've been on both sides. It hasn't mattered that much. But if you have the choice and you're booking early, get the best cabin for yourself. In addition, I say go midship. I say go lower deck if you can, is the extended stay opportunities. I mean, a couple things. One, you typically have to fly one way. A lot of times cruise lines have air programs. Check with them, check on your own, use your points. We always just use points. Typically, we fly for free. And we have a lot of additional videos and hacks. Our favorite travel reward credit cards are down below. Get one of those cards and get yourself a couple free flights to Europe. Let's say you show up in Rome or Barcelona. Now make a trip of it. Don't immediately fly back. You're there. Take advantage of it. You're also traveling in shoulder season usually. So you're not even peak season. So the rates are going to be lower. The food's going to be lower. The crowds are going to be lower. Tip 9 is the time zone strategy. When you go west from Europe to the US, it is amazing. You're going to be setting the clocks back an hour.
Almost every night.
So nice.
It is. On the other hand, when you're going the other way,
Uh-oh.
it's a little harder. You're losing an hour almost every night, but you're not having jet lag because it's very gradual.
I do enjoy going westbound a little bit better for the time zone strategy, but either way, it's a great sailing if you get a great deal. Tip number 10 is just realize the ships will have promotions. Those of you who have sailed before know a lot of times on a port day, the ships will sometimes give really great deals on the spas or other promotions. Just realize you won't have quite as many of those, but think about it for a moment. Now you've got all these sea days. There's only so many times people can go and get a massage or go to the spa or do one of the culinary events or tastings. There's a lot of promotions that we've seen typically for this reason. Look for those promotions. And
On the repos that have a lot of sea days, they take full advantage because the stores are always open. In the central promenade, they've always got tables full of deals.
I normally run right past that, but I've lost Monica.
He leads me right by it.
Yeah, I try. I try. Really quickly before we get to the deals, I really tried hard with the deals to make sure that I focused on fairly new ships, not necessarily the newest ship that's out there, because those are always going to be the highest price. If you can wait a year or two of those ships sailing, you're going to get way better deals typically overall. You might be surprised. Most of the deals that I share with you are going to be ships that are 5 years old or less. We really recommend going on a bigger ship.
Stability is a big reason. They don't move as much as some smaller ships. They have more activities, shows, restaurants, and things like that. There's lots to do on those sea days and a greater variety of different room choices.
If you want to learn how to find amazing deals on cruises, air, hotel, resorts, everything else, go to the link on the screen. We've got a free download for you. I put together all of my favorite ways to save money. Whether you're a budget traveler or a luxury traveler, go to digitalromance.com/free. And it's a free download, or use the QR code. And if you can do us a favor, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to us. It'll help us out a lot. So a couple quick clicks for you, and let's go on to the deals. All right, so these are our top 8 deals on repositioning cruises for couples. Then I even have some solo deals in the end, if that's you. Let's start with the lowest price. This is a transatlantic cruise going eastbound, US to Europe. It's April 5, 2025. This one goes out of Miami. It ends up in Naples. And by the way, something unique about MSC is that you can get off in multiple different places before that. So if you don't want to go for 20 nights, like this example, and you want to get off earlier, like in Valencia, you can do that. Really nice because you get a Caribbean cruise out of this, going to St. Martin, Antigua, to Barbados. You get Madeira on a beautiful island that's part of Portugal. You get to go to Lisbon, Valencia, Mallorca, and even Sicily in Italy before you end up in Naples. Check out the offer though. $120 per couple per day. Yes, that's for 2 of you. It is the cruise fare, your transportation, your taxes, your port fees. I include gratuities. Tips are expensive on these ships. That is included, and any of their main inclusions that are standard. Now, anything that you want to upgrade, of course, will cost you more, but even a balcony, under $200 per couple per day. That is under $100 per person per day for everything. Can you even book a hotel for that these days? Certainly not a nice one. You can even go up to a suite if you want. They've got a really nice suite experience on MSC. It's $322. So think about that. If you ever want to make the leap to suites, maybe you do it on MSC.
Cruise number 2 is another transatlantic cruise. This next cruise, also going eastbound, is on the Celebrity Ascent. So a pretty new ship in the Edge class. We love this class of ship. This one goes out of Fort Lauderdale to Rome. It's 15 nights. So you got some nice stops on here like Bermuda, Gibraltar, which is a very unique territory of the UK, Cartagena in Spain, and you stop at La Spezia in Italy, which is kind of the gateway to Cinque Terre, if you're interested in that. And then you go on to Rome. So tell me about the pricing on this one.
Even this one on a balcony cabin, barely over $100 per person, all included fare, taxes, port fees, and the main inclusions from Celebrity. And again, like Monica mentioned, this is Celebrity Ascent, one of their newest ships in the fleet. You're getting this kind of incredible deal. And if you want to jump up to Aqua Class, which we've sailed on multiple times, it's almost like a suite experience without the full suite cost. Aqua Class people have their own dining room. The rooms are a little bit upgraded. You get special spa access. It only really bumps it up to $372 per couple per day. And again, that's everything included, entertainment as well. Think about how much you get on a cruise outside of all this and your transportation getting to Rome, Italy. Let's jump into number 3. So this is again going eastbound to Europe. And in this case, let's jump forward to April 26th, 2026 on the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. We've been on this ship leaving out of Miami, super easy to get to, ending up in Barcelona, Spain. That's the gateway to Europe. You can have an amazing stay in Barcelona, or you can go anywhere pretty much in Europe. 14 nights. You go a little quicker here. You get to go to the Canary Islands, Casablanca, so a little exotic, and Valencia, Spain. So you've got 3 stops there. Look at the pricing here, under $200 per couple per day. And by the way, Virgin includes a lot. So yes, the fare, the taxes, the port fees, the gratuities, but you also typically get basic Wi-Fi. You also get your specialty restaurants. So you're not paying extra. You have access to all of the restaurants. They've got amazing entertainment. They have a lot more included at their base fare. You really don't have to spend much more than you see on the screen. A lot of times when you book, they'll give you a little initial bar tab. And if you book through a cruise-only travel agent, they will probably throw you additional onboard credit.
We love Virgin. It's adults only, so 18 and up, which is nice. You won't have any kids on that sailing. Number 4, this is on board the Holland America Rotterdam. This one is really cool. It goes to Fort Lauderdale to Rotterdam in the Netherlands. It's a 2-week cruise. And you have stops in the UK like Falmouth, Portland, and then Southampton. Then you go on to Zeebrugge, a coastal Belgium, and it's the gateway to Bruges, which is beautiful, and Brussels as well. And then ending in Rotterdam, which is the second largest city in the Netherlands. Now, what I love about this cruise is they actually have the sailing right after that is a loop that goes up to Norway and cruises the fjords,
Nice.
but turns into a 22-day cruise. But if you want to cruise the fjords, you want to hit places like Stavanger and Oslo and Kristiansand in Norway, and then cruising the Sonja Fjord, which is the world's deepest fjord. That would be a really cool addition to this itinerary.
Realize the price I give you will not include that additional add-on that Monica mentioned. There's going to be more per couple per day, but it's an option for you. So for this cruise, an inside cabin, $175 for 2 people, balcony for $218 per couple per day. These prices can change if you're interested.
And if you're not familiar with Rotterdam, it's about 45 minutes from Amsterdam.
Let's jump to westbound. Let's come back from Europe to the US. We'll go back to November or 2025. And this one is on Princess. So I tried to have newer ships and give you a cross-section of different ships to show you what's possible.
Sky Princess was refurbished in 2023.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Southampton, basically London, you get to Orlando, 16 nights, and pretty cool itinerary. Like I said, when we talked about unique and hidden gems, some of the places you're going, we've been on a lot of cruises. We've never been to most of these places. Portland, UK, Cherbourg, France, Vigo, Spain. Don't think we've been there.
Santiago de Compostela, that's where if you ever heard about the Camino, which is when people walk on this long road, it's a thing, and they end in Santiago. There's a really beautiful cathedral there.
Yeah, so you get a chance to see that and hear about that. And then you get Azores and Bermuda. So really cool itinerary, I think. And once again, under $200 a day for inside, $232 for balcony, and jump up to a mini suite if you want a bigger room and a few more perks. It's not that much more. I mean, $313 for a couple per day. Really nice.
Okay, here's another Virgin Voyages. It's Resilient Lady, which we did once on a Singapore to Sydney, and it was
So
memorable. So this is westbound. This is October 2025, and we're going from Barcelona back to Miami. So 14 nights, and you're going to hit great ports like Valencia in Spain, Casablanca, Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands.
remember, Virgin includes a lot. So you're not going to have to spend much more than you see on the screen if you don't want to. Pretty nice. Inside cabin 218, balcony $300 per couple per day. Number 7 of these amazing deals. This one is on another newer ship, Celebrity Apex. We've sailed this one once, and I think we're going to be sailing this at least one more time coming up.
We did a crossing on this from Europe to Florida.
Pretty similar to this, probably. This is Edge class again. So again, I really focus not on old ships, but some of the newer ships. Go out of the UK, end up in Orlando, 13 nights. And once again, pretty interesting itinerary. You get that same Vigo, Spain, Lisbon, Portugal. You get to go to Azores as well, and you get Bermuda before you end up in Orlando. Again, you know the pricing. Look at this pricing. Once again, 214, 305 for a balcony. And if you want to make the leap to Aqua class, which I highly recommend if you can do it, if you can swing it, still keeping under $500 for both of you per day.
Last transatlantic cruise deal.
For couples, we actually have solo deals about to share with you.
Westbound is one that's near and dear to our hearts. We just got off of this about a week and a half ago. So, Odyssey of the Seas, Royal Caribbean, it's a fantastic ship. It's going from Rome to Cape Liberty, New Jersey. And it's really amazing to sail into New Jersey. You can look out your cabin and see Manhattan. You can see the Statue of Liberty. It's just a really spectacular setting. And it's so 14 nights, 2 weeks for this one. You stop in La Spezia, Italy, Barcelona and Cartagena in Spain, Lisbon in Portugal, Ponta Delgada in the beautiful Azores, and then continuing on to New York, New Jersey.
Has anybody ever said that it's amazing and beautiful sailing into New Jersey? Who knew? I can say this because I grew up some in New Jersey.
Yes.
So I'm allowed to say this, but it really is spectacular. And by the way, once you're in Cape Liberty, it's so easy to get into the city. You can see balcony $274 if you need a little better deal. The inside $227 if you can make the leap up to even a mini suite. Not that much more than the balcony. You get a bigger cabin and a few extra perks, and that's just $347. So how about for my solo travelers out there? I've got 4 quick ones to share with you that you can look into. MSC Virtuosa, this one going eastbound April 2025. You can vary the number of nights depending upon where you get off. You're looking at $76 for your cabin. For inside or a balcony, $130. And that's for one person for your cabin, including your tips. The second option is Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady. This would be westbound, coming back later in 2025. Great ship, adults only, fantastic. 14 nights, Barcelona to Miami, a lot included. $100 for an inside cabin, $191 for a balcony.
And if I'm not mistaken, Virgin has actually, they have solo rooms.
Virgin does have some. So your inside cabin there, I believe, is going to be one of those solo studio cabins. The balcony, I think, I believe, is a regular sea terrace. Royal Caribbean Explorer of the Seas. It's transatlantic from eastbound. So let's go back eastbound. So we're going from US back to Europe now in 2026. Again, $132. Inside, $203 for a balcony. Celebrity Cruises, the last one for my solo travelers on the Eclipse. We've sailed on this one at least twice.
3 times.
Okay, 3 times. November 2026, again, coming back from Europe to Fort Lauderdale. I mean, again, look at the prices. You can see the consistency with the deals here. All right, so that is a bunch of amazing deals. What I need from you now is a thumbs up, a subscribe to the channel. It's all free. And then leave a comment down below. Have you sailed on a transatlantic before? Are you booking one? I'd like to know if you're about to book one. Share your experience. If you find an amazing deal, share that with other people. Get out there, do a booking. You're going to love it. And you can see the values are incredible. All right, with that,
We'll see you out there.